I feel like what Patrick Dumont thinks is that, hey, he was told this somewhere along the line. I bought a sports franchise, and fans are just idiots. Fans are idiots. They will support that franchise no matter what in the long run. And in a sense, he's right. Because you're still going to be here, and that franchise is here. And you even see there's a portion of the fan base, even while Nico was here, is like, hey, we got to support the team, though. I'm a fan. I live and die with this team, good and bad. That's what makes you a real fan. In fact, they were the ones saying you shouldn't be booing and you shouldn't be yelling fire Nico. And
right.
You're
not helping.
Disagreed with that fully, that those people yelling fire Nico, those are probably the truest fans.
Yeah, I would agree. But, I mean, I'm not trying to, gatekeep anybody, but for however it needed to happen, it happened. They're not going to sell the team. I don't think we've talked about kids' angle and all this enough, but for now, you have to just take it as this is something to be proud of.
Just that the letter really bothered me. Dear Mavs family, like you ain't in my. This is the stepdad trying to tell you that.
I know.
You're not. You didn't just buy into the family. You are not a part of this at all. In fact, like I don't want to hear a goddamn thing from you at all. Not that fired up about hearing from Cuban, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Just anyone associated with this. And I don't want to hear it leaked out. You're hearing different things leaked out about Kidd. And I'm positive Kidd is trying to leak out everything he can that's going to be positive about him. And I don't believe anything about Jason Kidd.
He has made that bed, You're not wrong to feel that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about the Michael Finley leaks that we've heard. Finley was against this, and if there was anybody that wasn't against this, I don't want to hear from them ever again, and you shouldn't be with the franchise. You should be long, long gone. And Patrick Dumont is at the top of that because he was sitting there with Nico, and he was defending him and saying these are the tough. He was the one alluding to Luka being not a hard worker and out of shape, and he likes hard workers like Jordan and Shaq. He doesn't know anything. I just absolutely don't want to hear from Patrick Dumont. I do not want to see him like, hey, we're working. What did he say here? Oh, thank you for holding us accountable. Thanks for your passion. You deserve transparency. F you, bro. Please join me in continuing to cheer on our players.
Listen,
and supporting all of
they're
those.
not going to make it easy ever.
I'm going to join Patrick Dumont.
Yeah.
Let's go, buddy.
Right.
Let's go arm in arm. Let's just cheer for these great players who. No, dude. You were at the top of this thing. In fact, you were the one guy that could have stopped it.
Literally.
The one person that could have stopped this.
Because I think Kidd
And now,
could have,
if you are. Go ahead.
Well, I was just say I think Kidd could have, but he would never have even tried. But ultimately, it is a factual statement that there is one person who could have stopped it.
Right, because they didn't call Miriam.
No.
For her opinion. And what I would have wanted this guy to do, this fat F, I would have wanted him, you know what? I'm out of my depths here. It seems crazy. Let me just call a ton of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's just nobody in actual NBA circles who would have said this is a good idea. Unless, if we would want to believe a conspiracy, that supermax, the owners don't like the supermax, dude. The big, if you've been all-pro this many years and all that, because he was up for the biggest contract in NBA history. It was what he had earned. He was going to sign it in a second. But if you remember that opening press conference that Nico had in Cleveland, the contract was alluded to a few times. And it was like, we're getting ahead of the contract. We're getting ahead of the Supermax. We're getting ahead where, Luka could have then had it in his court to decide whether or not he wants to stay, and we got ahead of that.
Tumultuous.
That is way different
remember?
from right. I didn't want a tumultuous summer. It wouldn't have been tumultuous at all because he would have signed it in half a second.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why would Luka have said, no, I don't want the $100 million extra or whatever I can get. I want to just go shop around and not. He would have signed it in a second, and that's where real NBA people will tell you, well, what you do is you sign him to that, and if you really think there's a concern about his conditioning or his future and all that, then you shop it around. And you get yourself 7 number 1 picks or, another superstar and this or something.
That was never the goal.
Well, that's why I think Patrick Dumont is getting a kind of a pass here. I really think financials had a lot to do with it. If it didn't, call any owner in the league, call any something like, hey, man, my GM is talking about trading Luka. Dude, that one person can, ask call the Cavs owner.
You know him.
Call the Cavs owner and say, what can just a superstar mean to your franchise? Well, how about the value of the franchise? Hundreds of millions of dollars. Could you imagine if Danny Ferry had walked in and said, you know what, I'm going to trade LeBron because we're concerned he's going to leave. He's a free agent next year. He could go to Miami, of all things. Let's trade him now. That's even if you knew he was a free agent and said, I want to look elsewhere, which Luka had never done. And the fact that he's firing him now after a slow start to the season, when he publicly said, look, a strong leader, which he was alluding to himself as being a strong leader, puts lets his people make decisions and then stands by them. Unless they go 2-8 or 3, really, if I am to believe Patrick Dumont from the beginning, you should have let this play out and let Anthony Davis and Kyrie be healthy with Cooper Flagg. And Cooper Flagg shouldn't even be in the equation because he wasn't part of this equation. Their theory was they were going to kind of win now even with Anthony Davis, make the playoffs. Who knows what's going to happen in the playoffs? So don't even add Cooper Flagg at all into this. It can't.
I know. Yeah.
It can't be a part of it at all.